Hi everyone and welcome to Season 3, Episode 6 of Mighty Moron with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, form has been very good. We lost in the last episode against the top side in the division. Since then, though, we've had a couple of wins and a draw. Today, we come up against bottom side Estudiantes Buenos Aires. And surely that means that the 3 points are ours today. Right? No messing about today. We have to get the 3 points, continue a decent enough run of form and continue to push ourselves into the playoff positions. So second through to fourth will get us into a playoff to go up to the next division. It's going to be tricky to do, but not necessarily getting to the playoffs, but getting through the playoffs will be tricky. But I think we're in a good position. We're not going to, probably not going to get up to the top two in the division. They're quite a way ahead of us already, but we have to maintain this position. Today we play bottom of the table, Estudiantes Buenos Aires, but the form that we've been in has been pretty good. You can see since the turn of the new year, we've had a lot of decent wins, a couple of draws in there, one loss against the top of the table side Belgrano, which was disappointing. Last game, should I say, not last episode, we played Nueva Chicago, and they were sitting just below us in the table, and we drew with them. So it feels like we've found our level. We're not quite up to the standard of the top two just at the moment, but anyone else in the division we can give an absolutely good game to. And hopefully, the lower down you go, the easier it becomes for us to get the points. And we'll find out today, won't we? Estudiantes Buenos Aires, if we go and have a look at the competition page, get to the bigger screen, they're sitting right at the bottom. They've won twice out of 20 games. Is it going to be a third for them today? I mean, I have press record. You never know what's going to happen next. But in theory, we should be on for a decent result. So let's go into the tactics page and figure out what we've got in store for Estudiantes. So pretty much what you see in front of you is the starting 11 that we've used for the last few weeks. We've been on a really great run of form. Other than that Belgrano loss, which was kind of understandable. They are the top side in the division. But other than that, we've been very, very good recently. And this is the starting 11 that has done it. So there's no change in the style of play, no change in the setup at all. We've got one or two players that have been recently had a few injury issues, but are looking a little bit better now. So we've pretty much got our starting 11 out. The only person that drops out of the side is Ochoa. Just hasn't been playing fantastically well recently. So Sanchez comes in for him. But other than that, it's our normal starting 11. And that is Galvin in goal, Echeverria and Ortiz in central defence, with Brogy at right back, Sanchez at left back, Federico, Cabrera and Piero in central midfield, with Fernandez on the right, Orozco on the left and Calidio up top, with a bench of Corzo, Ochoa, Gayer, Cholki, Glaby, Saul and Galliano. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So, apparently, if you tell your side that your opposition are sitting 15th place and we're sitting 5th currently in the form guide, let's show them why that is. Apparently, it stresses your central defender out. Now, quite why it stresses my central defender out, I don't really know. Surely it should build up my central defender to think, oh good, we're a better side than they are, let's go and get the 3 points. But oh no, Ortiz just isn't having any of it, and he now looks stressed. I think he might need to go and see a therapist, but that's for another occasion. We'll talk to him about that after the game. For now, let's get into kickoff. What sort of a response to that? How can you look stressed when your manager says, they're a bunch of wasters, we're doing quite well, let's go and show them why? No, I can't cope with that pressure. Oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, we're going to lose this game now, aren't we? Don't tell me we're giving a penalty away. We're giving a penalty away. Was it Ortiz? I think it was. He looked stressed and it gave a penalty away in the first 6 minutes of the match. And we look down now. Now I look stressed, Ortiz. And it's your fault. For goodness sake. What an absolute nightmare of a start that is. Oh dear. I just shouldn't have told him that we were doing well and they were doing rubbish, because it's apparently it's messed him up completely. Oh, we're going to have to do it the hard way now. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Sanchez down the left-hand side, back into Federico, keeping the ball nicely over on that far side. Let's hope that we don't make any silly errors on the ball and keep it nicely. Calidio onto Orozco, gets past the defender and has a pot shot, and it goes wide of the goal. Quality on the shot wasn't quite there, but other than that, the build-up was pretty decent. Some nice, crisp, sharp, one-touch passes in the middle of the park, and then just slightly a bit of a wayward shot. But overall, we are dominating the game through chances. The possession is roughly 50-50 at the moment, but the chances have all come from us, other than the one that they've put in the back of the net, really, for a penalty kick. Poor goal kick from them, and Fernandez charges back at them down into the penalty box, tries to make them pay. There's the cross, and it's a Orozco with a header. Quite a long way out, though, really. I would have liked a slightly different type of sort of attempt from him, really, on that occasion. And again, it's Estudiante have picked up the ball and got it down towards our penalty box. Our shape is good. We're keeping our discipline in defence. Can we get a foot in? We can. Sanchez doing pretty well recently, since Ochoa has not had the best of form, and Sanchez has come in and done pretty decent. Orozco down the left-hand side, and have they given a penalty, or was it just outside? No, it was a penalty. Orozco drew the challenge in, and it was, the penalty's been given. Piero steps up, and he puts it in the back of the net, and we go 1-1 after 33 minutes. And the first penalty that they had has been wiped out, and we start again from 1-1 with half an hour gone. Good calm penalty by Piero down into that corner of the net. No problems at all. Goalkeeper didn't get anywhere near it. And it looks like we might go into half-time at 1-1, but we have been fairly dominant, really. 13 shots at goal, 6 on target, 1-1 for them. A slight amount of percentage higher for us in terms of possession, but not too much, really. I'd have expected a little bit more. But it was just that poor start, wasn't it, from the very stressed-looking Ortiz. You can't write these things sometimes. It's bizarre, isn't it? What's they got? They got a 6.5 rating at the back there. We've got a 6.5 rating for Calidio up top. And in between them, they're doing all right, really, but nothing special. We're going to have to push them a little bit, though. Let's go assertively and say I'm not happy with the performance. This is the bottom side in the division, remember? Bottom side. I've pressed record, and this is what happens. But second half still to come. Let's see if we can get a better performance. So we've given our team talk. We'll go straight back out there, straight into the shouts to demand more from them. And we're going to just push it into the positive rather than the balanced approach, and just see if we can get on the front foot and push them back even more than we have been. We've had 16 attempts at goal, 8 on target. But a highlight is seemingly hard to find. So there's lots of pot shots happening, probably going high and wide and all that kind of stuff. And again, they went long into our defensive area, but we win the ball back. Brogy picks up the loose ball, and then we go long up to Calidio, drops it back into midfield very nicely. Piero on the ball, and he drops it out to the left-hand side to Orozco. Orozco gets challenged, though, by Gomez, and they bring the ball away. Estudiante get a chance to counter-attack. They're taking their time, which is fair play to them. They've done very nicely to sweep it over to the left-hand side. Fernandez for them, cuts into the box, and the near post, they get a striker in front of our defender. It's Ortiz again, I think. Oh, dear. No, it wasn't. It was Echeverria, probably. Oh, I don't know. It probably was Ortiz. It was, I think. That didn't quite get round his man. He's having a poor game. Really poor. Let's go and make a substitution. He's still apprehensive. We're going to take him off and put Corso on. I can't be doing with him there anymore. Having such a bad day. Oh dear. Who else is having a poor game? Fernandez, star of our show normally, is having a shocker of a game. Glabby can come on for him. And then we got one more change that we can make, and we're going to take off Calidio up top and put Galliano on and hope that he can get onto at the end of one of these chances. We've created loads of chances and just not put any of them away, really, other than the one from the penalty spot. Piero on the ball, scorer of our penalty, of course. holds the play up, drops it back into Sanchez down the left-hand side, gets it back again, puts it into Federico in central midfield, playing very nicely across the midfield, trying to draw them out a little bit and find the gap. There's the gap in behind Glabby, and the shot is saved by the goalkeeper, pushed around the post, and we go for a corner kick. Can we get a quality corner kick in from Orozco? And we don't really. It wasn't particularly fantastic, was it? Here's a chance for him to redeem himself, though, with a free kick. This time it gets partially cleared. Galliano picks it up, drops it back to Corzo, and we move it back into central midfield with Federico out to the right, wide right. Orozco finds himself there, unusually, cuts all the way along the line, and then has a really strange shot, really, that kind of doesn't go anywhere near going in, really, from a very acute angle. And they get themselves into all sorts of difficulty there. The original header comes in. The goalkeeper, I think, kind of palms it out. And it's Galliano that gets there first. And we've been given a little bit of a reprieve, really. Sanchez, good ball in. Piero with a good header. And then they get themselves in a complete mess. And Galliano pokes the ball home for 2-2 with about 12 minutes left of the game. Is there any issue here? Why are we seeing it again? No, there's no issue. It wasn't offside at all. That's good. So we're now at 2-2. We've got 10 minutes roughly to find a winner. And we are again going to go into the shouts and say push forward. And we're going to push it into the attacking version and see if we can get one shot at goal to get us the 3 points. And we don't. And that is just what happens when I press record. This was against the bottom side of the division. They've only won 2 games the entire season. And then they play against us. And we throw it away. Ortiz, I have no idea what happened to him. His head went in the team talk, didn't it, really? That shocking team talk when I said that we're pretty good, let's go and win a match. And he couldn't cope with it. And from there, he proceeded to self-implode completely. Oh dear. Oh well, there we go. Let's go into the team talk. Tell them assertively, not good enough. Really unhappy with that. Let's go and check out the analysis page and figure out how this happened. So the summary page gives such good reading, doesn't it, really? 26 shots for us, 2 for them. We had 12 on target. They had both of theirs on target. It's the only shots they had the entire game, and they both led to goals. 50-50 possession, potentially. Well, not potentially, it was kind of. And that's kind of where we went wrong a little bit, I think. We just didn't keep the ball well enough. We put it up top quick enough, got a few chances away, absolutely, but potentially should have dominated the possession as well. And our average ratings weren't particularly fantastic, considering how dominant we were. Let's go and have a look at the original analysis page. You can see that even possession, 50-50, it's kind of not good enough. Even though we were away from home, this is the bottom side in the division, for goodness sake. Oh dear. You can see that we attack them primarily using the wings, which is good. That's where we've got some strength. That's absolutely fine, no problem at all. And you can see that it correlates today. The 54% down the left-hand side shows the redness there. We worked a lot in this kind of area of the pitch. You can see the average positions of the 11 players on the pitch. So we kept fairly narrow, a good defensive shape. You can see they sit far deeper than we did, trying to soak up the play. So we got quite a high line, which is fantastic. It was working fine. And then we just kind of self-imploded, and it was totally Ortiz that did it, really, wasn't it? Let's go and check these shots. Now, there are a lot of them today. For us, we had 10 shots off target, and only one of those was pretty much outside the box. Every other one was inside the box, and we blasted it over the top. We put it wide. We got 10 saved shots, so that's 20 shots that we got inside the penalty box and couldn't get it past the goalkeeper. He was having a decent game today, though, wasn't he, really? Those 10 shots all saved. And then we got another 3 blocked, and 2 of those were inside the box as well. Shooting boots were really not on today at all, were they? At all. Not good enough. Let's see how we do out of play. Now, this is good reading. I like this. The out of play statistic here for how many passes that went astray is actually pretty decent. Anything under like 20 is pretty good. 13 today. A couple of these are just booting it clear, that's fine, but these kind of ones I want to get as low as I can, but not bad. I don't mind that at all. The intercepted passes, maybe a little bit less happy with that, although you would expect more of those than the out of play ones, but even so, a few more than I'd like, but not too bad today. So our passing accuracy was fairly good. So it wasn't that caused us the problems, it was these shots. Let's go and have a look at our shots at goal. And we're just going to look at our own ones. Let's deselect them and select just us. These are our shots, not the opposition as well. And you can see that we sprayed a load all the way around the goal. But we had a load that went on target as well. But what I would say about a lot of them is that they're a reasonable height, some of these, for a goalkeeper. And they're all quite central as well. We weren't really hitting the edges, were we? And making the goalkeeper work. So shooting accuracy seems to be where we lost the game, or lost the opportunity to win the game today. We scored a couple of good goals. We let a couple of really soft ones in. Ortiz with the penalty, having lost his head completely. I think then he failed to get round in front of the striker for the second goal as well. So he was just on a really, really poor day. And then we just couldn't quite make these shots count. And that's pretty much all there is to say about that game. Other than that, I thought we played quite well. I thought we had a load of attempts, half of which went roughly on target. We just couldn't make them pay. And we have not managed to get the 3 points against the bottom side in the division. I'll still count that towards the curse of pressing record. I really will. If they'd have beaten us, it would have been just utterly madness. But for us to only get a draw in this circumstance, really, really not happy with that. Anyway, we'll have to leave that one there. We can't do anything about it. Looks like Chicago have picked up a point and kind of gone equal on points with us. And we've got San Martin coming up just behind them as well. So it's still going to be touch and go whether we get into these playoff positions. Anywhere fourth and above, remember, gets us in. But San Martin, 1 point behind us. And then you've got at least another side only 3 points behind us as well. So still lots of work to do. Let's go through the news feed. They're going to be a bit disappointed. Super sub Galliano rescues Deportivo Moron. Yeah, he kind of did, didn't he, really? 6 to 8 days for Brogy having picked up an injury. That's not too bad. And Galliano ended a goal drought. That's, great. But it was 10 hours worth. And that's why he'd lost his position to Calidio in the striking position of our side. Because he weren't scoring. But anyway, deep breath, everybody. That's just how this game works sometimes. I can't believe we didn't beat them. Oh well, there you go. What can you do? We have to move on. So let's go into the schedule page again and figure out what's coming up in the next episode. So we're going to have to turn our frown upside down, as they say, and turn this form upside down and get rid of these draws again. I thought our form since the turn of the year has been fantastic, but we can't afford to slip off the pace just at this point in the season. So what are we coming back for next episode? Well, to be honest, we're coming back to a really, really crunch game, because right in the middle of our run through to the end of the season is San Martin, who sit directly behind us by about a point. So we have that to play next in next episode. And that's kind of a key one, really. We can either put one of those out of reach a little bit and push ourselves forward, or we can lose momentum even further and find ourselves in a little bit of difficulty trying to claim one of those playoff positions. So San Martin up next, a few potentially winnable games in between now and then. So we do have to pick up some points and get rid of this sort of drab draw kind of business, and see if we can then push ourselves comfortably into a playoff position. So 2 more episodes of this season to go. We've got the first one being San Martin, the second one being All Boys for the last day of the season. So let's see how this particular season pans out as we close in on the end of it. But next up, San Martin. Hope you'll join me for that. It's going to be a real crunch game. Until then, though, thank you for joining me today. Really weird episode. Bless him, Ortiz. I'm going to have to send him for some therapy or something because he just looked dreadful after the game. He looked dreadful after the team talk. What am I talking about? Oh, dear. Dots on a screen, Kev. Dots on a screen. Just so bizarre. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button for me. Helps me get seen by lots of other people. If you feel like it, go check out my Patreon page or my merchandise store. Both of the links to them are in the description below. Until next time, though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.